Hey friends, welcome to Minimalist. If you are new here, my name is Becky Truda, and if you are somebody who's been following me, then thank you so much for coming back. This video is all about how I have learned some very valuable life lessons through minimalism. But if you are starting out on your journey or you're somewhere in the mess of it, I wanted to make this video to remind you that though this is a journey, there are some really big benefits of decluttering and minimizing besides just gaining peace. There are massive benefits, and I am so excited to share them with you because if you haven't reaped these benefits yet, just know that they're coming down the road. So the first benefit that I wanted to share with you, a life lesson that minimalism has taught me that I never knew I needed, was that I was lacking so much self-confidence. I was living a life where I was buying things because other people or social media was telling me that I needed them. I was constantly filling my house with things that I didn't really want because I saw other people have them, or there was a sale, or I felt like I was going to miss out on something and not keep up. There are so many reasons why we overbuy the things that we don't really want. And a big reason I was doing it was because I just lacked confidence in myself. I lacked and didn't know who I really was, what I really wanted. Minimalism for me in the beginning was so attractive because it showed me a life that I had really wanted but didn't know that I could actually have. It showed me a life of people that bought things because they actually needed them, who could live in their home and be comfortable and feel at peace and not always be chasing the next thing. One of the biggest lessons minimalism has taught me is that I can have the self-confidence in myself to speak up for myself, to say I don't want something when people are trying to give things to me in a nice way, to say what I'm doing with my life, that I'm living a minimalist life. And that's half the reason I got onto YouTube in the first place, was to just be able to speak about this thing that I had learned about. I didn't really know how to explain it to other people, but I just knew that minimalism was too good to not talk about. Hey friends, if you are enjoying learning about minimalism, then remember to put a heart emoji below because it just reminds us all that we're all in this minimalist journey together. Now, these next two things that minimalism has taught me are both amazing, so make sure you watch to the end. But the next thing that minimalism has taught me and can teach you as well is that we have a lot of control of things that we don't think we have, and that when we have and gain that control, that then when things do get chaotic, do get crazy, because that is life, that we have the peace to be able to ride the storm. That was quite a mouthful, but I wanted to give you some real life experiences I've had where this has reigned true because of minimalism. So yesterday I was on my way. I needed to get my daughter a new coat. She had a very old coat that she's outgrown. So I was headed out to go to our local thrift store up the street. And on the way, I had two situations where normally my emotions would feel out of control, but because of minimalism, I was able to reassess. So the first thing that happens was I was in a merging lane and I was comfortably way ahead of the person behind me. I had no worries, but slowly I turned my clicker on to merge over. And when I looked behind me, I noticed that they had stepped on the gas and now they were going incredibly fast over the speed limit.
You know how fast you were going?
What?
How fast you were going.
To make sure that I did not get in front of them. Now, normally, and in that exact second, I felt so irritated. Like, what is wrong with people? Why would you speed ahead of me? We were both going at a very comfortable pace, and yet you felt the need to outpace me at the last second. Well, I slowed down, I let them ahead of me, it was fine. And after a few deep breaths, I quickly got over it. But within another minute, I was waiting on a delivery truck and he had moved his little truck and dropped something off and he was getting ready to back up. Well, the car behind me decided that they were going to swoop around me and try to cut off the truck. And they did. They swooped around me while I'm looking at them like, oh my goodness, you're gonna get hit by the truck. And they swooped around the truck, and the truck did get very irritated, but then he stopped and actually let me go because he saw what happened. Now, then I was at the thrift store. So I'm walking around the thrift store and I'm thinking how irritating this all is, that, do I even feel safe being on the road anymore? People are so insane and so aggressive driving. And it made me really reflect on how over these past few years, I've been able to learn how to control my emotions because I have more control of the things that I'm bringing in my house. I have created a peaceful environment for myself and my family. It's actually allowed me to really dig deeper and assess other things that I have control of. Other people can do things to you that are very upsetting. Other people can really annoy you. They do to me sometimes too. But the thing that I constantly have to keep reminding myself is that I am in control of my own emotions. No one can make me feel a certain way anymore. Because I've taken the time to find peace, to find calm, which was through minimalism, it has really taught me that I am in control of my own emotions, and it doesn't really matter how much somebody irritates me. I can find my own peace within myself and figure out peaceful ways of getting out of that situation. So where normally I would have walked around the thrift store and been irritated the whole time and been in a terrible mood, I just said to myself, they don't have that kind of power over me. They're not taking away my control. They're not going to take away my happiness of being able to be at my favorite thrift store and that I have a list, and I've actually found a beautiful pink sparkly jacket for my daughter. And you're not going to take that away from me. You're not going to take away this moment where I would normally be very calm and at peace. And so they didn't. And that is one amazing thing that minimalism has taught me and can teach you as well. Taking away a lot of the possessions that are causing anxiety and being able to start meditating and living in peace, you will find that those little times that you can take back the control of your life and feel like within this insane world, you have a little bit of peace, you're able to control a lot more than you think. This last and probably the most insane thing that minimalism has taught me is that I have willpower. That I have the willpower to accomplish anything that I could possibly dream of. And it seems so outside the box that minimalism, which is really getting rid of everything and living with less, could teach me that I could do anything I possibly wanted. But here's why. I never thought I was somebody who had a lot of willpower. And that constant self-talk has been the reality for probably most of my life. I always gave up on every goal that I would set for myself within a month, and I would be back to the same person that I was before. Now, it's something that I never thought I had, and I would never have said this until I really started thinking about where I am today. Minimalism, though it was something that started out as just a pipe dream, something that I just wanted to envision myself living an easier, more peaceful life and not feeling so chaotic all the time, has actually taught me that I have willpower and that you are capable of having it as well. Now, when I first started out with minimalism, I didn't really know where to go. I knew that I needed to declutter things and get rid of things, but then I would declutter them and I would rebuy things so quickly to replace that empty space that I never got the benefits of what minimalism really could do. So when I finally started talking to myself differently, it made a huge difference. So instead of just saying, I would like my life to look like this, I started actually talking to you guys. I started on YouTube. I started sharing my story of the things that I was going through and holding myself accountable. Having the ability to talk to yourself and tell yourself that you are this new person. You don't want to be this new person. You are a minimalist. You are someone who lives a simpler life. You are someone who values your time and spends it wisely. That's who you are now. And when I started actually talking to myself like that, I started to think about when I would go to the store And naturally, I would just buy whatever I thought looked pretty. That was just the way I always did it. I would go in the store with my mom or my friends or just by myself some days, and I would just buy things to make myself feel better. But when I started to talk to myself differently, it is amazing how wild your brain can change pretty quickly when you start convincing yourself that you are someone different. So another example, I went to the store today. I need a pair of tennis shoes. I'm really telling myself that I am someone who takes good care of their body and that I am the kind of person who is going to get out and do physical things with my body every day. So I'm looking for these tennis shoes, but when I won't go in the store, I found a pair, but they didn't exactly fit what I wanted. And normally I would have had no willpower and I would just said, well, it's a good deal. I think they were like 30% off. So let's get them. That's good enough. But the inside talk in my head has changed and it said, no, these are not exactly what you want. This is not going to be perfect. You are going to be upset you bought them eventually down the line in a week or a month when they're not comfortable, and you're going to be upset and you're going to have to get rid of them anyway and buy a new pair. So you know what I did? I put them back, I put my shopping cart back, and I walked out the door. I did not go look for a million other things that might be something that I want because my willpower said, this is the one thing I really needed and it's not here. So it's almost like I had blinders on and I walked out without a twinge like I used to feel. I used to feel actually sad that I didn't buy something. And now I am grateful that I have everything that I have and I don't need anything besides the one thing that I was looking for. So when you are feeling like you are not making progress, just know that maybe you're not doing the self-talk you need to. Tell yourself, I am a minimalist. I am a minimalist and therefore I think like this. I am a minimalist, so I'm gonna get off my couch and I'm gonna declutter even the smallest of areas, even 5 things in 5 minutes. You are accomplishing a goal and that willpower is going to start building up inside of you. I know it's going to because it's done the same thing to me. Thank you guys so much for coming on this journey. And if you enjoy learning about minimalism and decluttering, then remember to hit that subscribe button and check out some of my other videos for some inspiration.